my opinion, conflict is when two or more people disagree in a certain aspect, and therefore conflicts may be generated.
There's a really famous quote which states that conflict can lead to changes that reduce injustice, or it can increase injustice if it takes a destructive form, as in war.
Conflict. In my opinion, conflict is a fight. It is to come into disagreement with someone or a clash.
When I think about peace, I think of a world where people's needs and wants are provided, and where there is no conflict, because people agree with the policies and the world they live in.
Peace. In my opinion, peace is being free from war, commotion, violence, etc.
From this project, I've learned that both interests and ideas can be conflicting. The ideas can be of how a country should run, so people can agree or disagree with the political policies of how the country should run. But interests can be, for example, the interest for oil, where in some countries there is no oil, and therefore they are interested in countries like Libya, which have plenty of oil. It is even said that America's intervention in Libya was solely because of the interest in oil.
In this project, I've learned that wars are lots of times the result of conflicts. This means mutual disagreement between parties and political groups, which then leads to wars and rebellion, and which can change the way the country is ruled, such as in places like Libya, and nations are changed.
People are different in many aspects, and their historical is also different. In all countries, they are allowed to live with these differences, because there are certain laws that state that people all have equal rights, and there are different jobs, so people can perform their best activities at which they work best and at which they feel better.
In this project, we've also learned that war is an inevitable part of the human being. It's embedded in their brains and in their primal instinct, as in caveman times, as they needed to hunt for their own survival. This means that the desire for power and the desire to rule, and also the possession of land, makes conflicts arise between religious ideas or ideals, or also desire for power, I guess. Nowadays, conflict is concentrated in Middle Eastern countries and African countries. These are LEDCs, which are very poorly developed countries, which are very rich in minerals and raw materials, such as oil in Libya, but their government is often corrupt, and people rebel against the government, leading to conflicts. The role of the United Nations in times of conflict is, well, first of all, the United Nations is an organization which always helps to maintain peace and resolve conflicts between nations. So their main objective in times of conflict is to resolve conflict in the most peaceful way, which sometimes is inevitable to use force.
What I've learned from this project. I've learned that from comparing bigger problems around the world to your own cases of everyday life shows just how common conflict is. A quote which summarizes what I've learned is one by William James, an American philosopher. Whenever you're in conflict with someone, there is one factor that can make the difference between damaging your relationship and deepening it. That factor is attitude.